Just got your hands on the new HR-V or still on the fence? Either way, you're in the right place. In this video, we're covering 25 tips and tricks to help you get the most out of your HR-V or figure out if it's the right choice for you. We'll start with the exterior, move inside, and the tips will get more advanced as we go. So stick around, there's a lot to chew through. Tired of stepping into an ice-cold car in winter or a scorching cabin in summer? The HR-V's remote engine start has you covered. Standard on both Sport and EXL trims. This feature lets you warm up or cool down the interior before you even step inside. Here's how to use it with your key fob. Press the lock button once to secure the doors. Then, press and hold the remote start button, the one with the circular arrow, until the parking lights flash. Your HR-V will start, and the climate control system will automatically adjust based on the outside temperature. If it's cold, the heater kicks in, and if it's hot, the AC cools things down. Once inside, press the brake and hit the start button to take full control. Until you do this, the screens stay off, and the car won't shift into gear. If you try to shift before pressing the brake and start button, the engine will shut off for safety. Not leaving just yet? To turn off the engine remotely, press the unlock button once, then hold the circular arrow button until the parking lights flash again. If you're looking to cool down your HR-V before hopping in, here's a neat trick. Press and hold the unlock button on your key fob and watch all 4 windows roll down while the sunroof, if equipped, opens up. It takes about 10 seconds for all the windows to fully lower. However, if you don't need them all the way down, simply release the unlock button once they reach your desired position. If you'd rather disable this feature, especially on rainy days, you can easily turn it off. On the LX and Sport trims, use the instrument cluster and steering wheel roller to navigate to vehicle settings. Press the roller to select door setup, then scroll down to remote window control and toggle it off. On the EXL, follow the same steps using the 9-inch display. If your key fob or even your HR-V's battery dies, you can still get inside. Simply slide the release switch on the back of the fob to remove the built-in key. Insert it into the key slot under the driver's door handle, turn, and you're in. Need to start the engine with a dead fob battery? No problem. Just press the brake and hold the key fob against the engine start button. The chip inside the fob will still communicate with the car, allowing you to start the engine even with a dead battery. On trims with smart entry, the HR-V offers walkaway auto lock for added peace of mind. After turning off the engine and walking away with the key fob, the doors will automatically lock after a few steps, with a confirming beep. This feature is off by default, but you can activate it by heading to Vehicle Settings, Door, Window Setup, Walkaway Auto Lock, and selecting On. If you have a sport trim, use the instrument cluster display and steering wheel controls to navigate to Vehicle Settings. Scroll down to Door Setup, then continue scrolling to Walkaway Auto Lock and select On. No more digging for keys. The HR-V's smart entry system makes unlocking effortless. By default, grabbing the driver's door handle unlocks only that door when the key fob is nearby. Want to unlock all doors at once? It's easy to customize. On the Sport trim, use the instrument cluster and steering wheel controls to access vehicle settings. Navigate to Keyless Access Setup, then select Door Unlock Mode and choose all doors. On the EXL with the 9-inch display, simply go to Vehicle Settings on the touchscreen. Select Keyless Access Setup, then Door Unlock Mode, and set it to all doors. Now, your passengers can hop in just as easily. If you're trying to fit into a tight parking spot, folding in the mirrors can make a world of difference. While its larger siblings, the Pilot and Passport, come with power folding mirrors, the HR-V keeps it simple with manual folding mirrors, just like this. If you ever need to use a gas can to refuel your HR-V, and it doesn't have a long neck, don't worry. Honda has thought of that. A funnel for this exact situation is stored underneath the cargo floor. Before we dive into tips and tricks for the inside, if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. It really helps us create more content like this. If you're waiting and prefer not to have the engine running but still want to listen to the radio or charge your phone, you can use Accessory Mode. Just press the engine start-stop button without stepping on the brake pedal, and you're all set. If your seat feels too low or too high in relation to your seatbelt, there's an easy fix. Simply look above your shoulder for the seatbelt height adjuster, pull it towards you, and slide it up or down until it's positioned perfectly. The front passenger seat has this feature as well. When you start driving, your HRV locks the doors automatically once you pass 10 miles or 15 kilometers per hour. Prefer locking when you shift out of park? No problem. For Sport and LX trims, use the steering wheel controls to access vehicle settings on your instrument cluster display. Then go to Door Setup, Auto Door Lock, and choose your preferred method. For the EXL trim, follow the same steps on the main touchscreen display. This feature keeps your doors secure, so you can focus on the road ahead. By default, when you park your HRV, all doors unlock as soon as you open the driver's door. If you'd like to change this, follow these steps. On the EXL, go to Vehicle Settings, Door Window Setup, Auto Door Unlock, and choose from these options. Unlock all doors when shifted to park. Unlock all doors when the ignition is turned off and off, which means keep all doors locked until you manually unlock them. Select the setting that works best for you and your passengers. If you have an LX or Sport, the process is the same. Just use the instrument cluster controls to navigate to Vehicle Settings, Door Setup, Auto Door Unlock, and adjust it to your preference. Stuck in traffic? The HRV's brake hold feature, standard on all trims, is here to make things easier. After fastening your seatbelt, simply press the brake hold button. When you come to a full stop, you can take your foot off the brake. The HRV will stay in place until you hit the accelerator. As a bonus, the brake lights stay on, letting drivers behind know you're stopped. Once activated, there's no need to press the brake hold button again. Just release the brake pedal when the green hold light appears on the dash, and the feature will continue working until you turn it off. It even reactivates automatically after restarting the car. For added safety, if the HRV idles for 10 minutes, the parking brake will engage automatically. Activating the parking brake is easy. Just pull up the parking brake switch near your gear selector. To deactivate, press the switch down while keeping your foot on the brake. Think of it like the old school stick brake. Pull up to engage, press down to disengage. Even in the base HRV, you can enjoy a quieter, more focused drive with audio zones. This feature lets you direct sound to the driver's side speakers, ideal for listening to an audiobook or navigation while keeping the rest of the cabin quiet. Perfect for when passengers in the back are resting. If you have the EXL trim with SiriusXM, you can even rewind and replay tracks using the playback bar, with up to an hour of stored audio ready to enjoy. If you have an EXL, you can customize your HRV's home screen just like your smartphone. Simply tap the All Apps icon, then select or deselect apps to add or remove. To rearrange icons, press and hold an app, then drag it to your preferred spot or even to another page. Want to remove an app? Just drag it to the top. Don't forget to tap Done to save your changes. Stay tuned. Things are about to get even more exciting. If you have an EXL, a SiriusXM subscription, and follow US sports teams, you're in for a treat. Just go to Settings on SiriusXM, tap Sports Notification Setup, select your league and team, then head to Notifications to enable both game notifications and Sports Flash game notifications. That way, you'll never miss a moment of the action. Now, if only they offered European soccer updates too. Want to take control with just your voice? Press the talk button on the steering wheel, and you can ask your HRV to play your favorite radio station, including SiriusXM's endless options if equipped. For example, you can say, "Tune to channel Octane."
Tuning to Octane.
Here's a pro tip. Press and hold the talk button, and your smartphone takes over. For me, that means Siri jumps in, just like saying, "Hey Siri," on my phone. If you have an EXL trim, here's some great news. Apple Maps, Google Maps, and Waze directions seamlessly integrate into your HRV's instrument panel when you set a destination. Just scroll to the navigation page using the steering wheel roller to view them. If you have the EXL trim, your HRV comes with wireless smartphone connectivity. Here's how to switch between multiple phones in your vehicle. First, go to General Settings on your screen and select Smartphone Connection. For me, that's Apple CarPlay. Then, select the phone you want to connect and tap Yes. That's it. If you park your HRV near a porch or walkway and need extra light at night, you can adjust how long the headlights stay on after turning off the car. By default, they turn off after 15 seconds, but you can change that to 0 seconds for an instant shutoff when you close the driver's door. To adjust this setting, on the EXL, go to Vehicle Settings on the touchscreen. Select Lighting Setup, then Headlight Auto Off Timer, and choose your preferred duration. On the LX and Sport, follow the same steps using the instrument cluster display. Driving at night, Honda's Auto High Beam makes it safer and easier by automatically switching between low and high beams. Using a front camera, it detects streetlights, headlights, and taillights to improve visibility without blinding other drivers. This feature is standard on all HRV trims. Here's how to use Auto High Beam. Set your headlight lever to Auto. The car is on and moving at 25 miles per hour or faster. The lever is in the low beam position. It's dark, the headlights are on, and no other vehicles are nearby. Look for the A icon on your dashboard when it's active. Here's how you can control high-low beams manually. Pull the lever towards you to momentarily flash the high beams. To keep them on, turn the light switch to the high beam position. Keep in mind that this disables Auto High Beam. The Road Departure Mitigation System, standard on all trims, helps keep you safe by vibrating the steering wheel if you start drifting out of your lane. However, if you ever want to turn it off, here's how. Use the scroll button on the steering wheel to access the safety support menu on the instrument cluster. Select Road Departure Mitigation, then press the scroll button to disable it. When the checkmark disappears and the option turns gray, you're all set. Recalibrating the tire pressure on your HRV is simple. For LX and Sport trims, start the car and access the menu on the instrument panel. Navigate to Vehicle Settings. From there, select TPMS Calibration and choose Calibrate. For the EXL with the 9-inch display, open Vehicle Settings on the main screen. Locate TPMS Calibration, select Calibrate, and you're done. Unfortunately, the HRV doesn't display the tire pressure for each wheel individually. If the warning light comes on, you'll need to check all the tires manually. If a mechanic forgot to reset the maintenance minder after an oil change, here's how to do it yourself. On the EXL, go to Vehicle Settings, swipe to the next screen on the right, and select Maintenance Info. Then, tap Select Reset Items, and choose either All Due Items or a specific service you want to reset. That's it. In my case, the oil life is now back to 100%. If you have a Sport or LX trim, use the steering wheel roller to navigate to the settings page on the instrument cluster. Scroll down to Maintenance Reset, select it, and choose the item you need to reset. Every HRV is equipped with both Smart and Standard Cruise Control, and you can easily switch between them. Adaptive Cruise Control automatically adjusts your speed to maintain a preset distance from the car ahead, while Standard Cruise Control maintains a constant speed without adjusting for traffic. To activate cruise control, press the cruise button on the steering wheel, and the system indicators will appear on the instrument cluster. To switch to standard cruise control, hold the interval button, the one with distance bars, until the display updates and you hear a beep. To revert back to adaptive cruise control, simply press and hold the same button again. To activate standard cruise control, reach your desired speed and press the set button. For adaptive cruise control, press and hold the distance button to enable adaptive mode, then tap it to select your following distance. Each bar represents about one car length, 40 feet. Press set and your HRV will maintain the selected distance, adjusting its speed automatically if the car ahead slows down. If you have any tips or insights about the HRV we didn't cover, share them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content.